I'm Liel, I'm 20. Before the Nova, I was working as a bartender in a few bars. Um, I also want to add a few words about the Nova community. The Nova community is really unique community. It's like from 18 to 70, like the all ages, all the colors, all the whatever you can think. It's no matter who you are, it's no matter what you believe. Just come and dance. We were dancing barefoot at the Nova Festival. I was waiting just to Shoham to the Nova Festival for months just to get along with all of my friends. A lot of people that came from, not from Israel, a lot of DJs from around the world. So it was really exciting for us. So I came to the Nova with two of my friends. They worked there, they had a massage stand. And at 6:25, I came back to the massage stand because I needed to grab something from my bag. And then my friend and me telling me, wow, this year they really put a lot of effort, like there's fireworks. And I'm living in Ashkelon. Ashkelon is the most fired city in Israel. So I just looked at the sky and I was like, it's not fireworks, it's missiles. After a few minutes, the DJ shut down the party. He told everybody that we need to evacuate immediately. Like Sham said, it was between something like 4,000 people. And everybody was crying, everybody were afraid. Most of the people are not living in Ashkelon, so they're not used to rockets like me. You can imagine what is 4,000 people, no shelter, hundreds of rockets above our heads, and because we were so close to the border, we had no sirens. It just exploded everywhere, without any alarm, without any siren, it just exploded. So at this point, everybody were just running, everybody were getting their stuff, everybody was looking for their friends. Nobody knew what to do. But I was like really optimistic. I was like 10 minutes and it would be over, like the music will come back, I need to stay in the party area. I told my friends, stay with me, everything is going to be fine. After like 20 minutes, it became from hundreds of missiles to thousands of missiles. Then it started to get like really scary even for me. And because we had a massage stand, so it took us a lot of time to pack all our stuff, pack all our things. At 7:30, I guess, and we started to hear a lot of gunfires, but from distance. So the first thing we were thinking is maybe there is a 1 or 2 terrorists on the border, so what we're hearing is the IDF just shooting them or something. And like I was with my friends that were like, they were in the military, and they said, yes, like it's probably like we're hearing shooting, maybe somebody's crossing the border or something like this, we're really close, no need to worry. After 10 minutes, our friend Shaked is calling us. He's telling us, listen guys, there is terrorists in the cities, they're shooting RPGs at houses, there's terrorists everywhere. All the area you're in it right now is full of terrorists, so you need to hide right now. So at first we thought that he's messing with us. We were just like, Shaked, stop doing this, like you're trying to mess with us because we're high, what are you doing? And it was like, no guys, I'm not messing with you, like you need to hide immediately. And we thought, okay, we will stay close to the car. because there was security and there was police that were in the party area, so we thought it's going like the best idea is to stay with them. They have weapons, they can protect us. After like even after this call, we didn't understood how many of them. Like we thought, okay, maybe 20, maybe 40. Like if he's knowing about it, the police knowing about it, the IDF is probably already handling this. And at this point, we started to hear the gunfires just getting closer and closer, and much more. Like at some point, I think we heard like 100 of different gunfires at the same time, and a lot of whistles. Then we started to hear a lot of screams. And then was at 8 and 11 minutes, there was a really big explosion. Afterwards, like somebody told us that the thing that we heard, it was an RPG missile that they shot at a group of people and they were all exploded. So after I heard this like big explosion, I turned my head and I'm seeing hundreds of people just running and hundreds of terrorists behind them just spraying and killing everybody. The ones who were already dead, like they fall from the shooting, they just shoot them like more 20 times just to make sure that are all dead. At this point, we're jumping on the jeep, me, Dor, and Gilad, and we start to run and approach to the parking lot. So as we're approaching to the parking lot, we see our friend Oad. We screaming to him to come to the car. We're taking him with us. Our jeep like was really full of a lot of stuff, like the massage beds, table, chairs, gazebo. Like we had a lot of stuff. And Oad was sitting on Gilad in the back. Dor was driving, and I was sitting in the front. So we're coming to the parking lot, and we see a lot of people in their cars, like really confused. We're driving to the exit, but people are coming and telling us like there's terrorists from this way. We're trying to go to another way, and people coming telling us there's terrorists this way, and this way, and this way, and we realized we're surrounded. At this point, we understood that there is a lot of snipers hiding on the trees and on the hills that's surrounding us. Because all the people that weren't in car at this point and were just running, they were all getting shot. So that's how we knew, like we saw our friends getting killed in front of our eyes. Like 2 hours ago, we were dancing together. And like we couldn't do nothing to help them. Like this is the only thing that I think that keeps me wake every night, that we just couldn't help them. Like we really wanted to, but we just couldn't help them. At this point, I'm seeing one of my close friends. He also my boss. I'm working over a year for him. And I'm seeing him. He was the bar manager at the Nova. So I'm starting to scream at him, Alex, Alex. He was maybe 300, maybe 400 meters from us. I was screaming to him, and he ran to our car, and he sat with me in the front. We were sitting together, and Alex has a 2-year-old son, and his name is Tom. So they're always like driving in this area with the Jeep, like he knows this area. They're going, like it's a really pretty area. There's a lot of trees and stuff, and you can go with the Jeep there. It's like a cool place. So he told us, okay guys, I can navigate us to Be'eri, so we can hide in some family house or something. We thought this is like the best idea. Yeah, we should go to there. So this, like, the whole time there's rockets above our heads. We're hearing shooting. We see our friends getting killed. And we're driving to the right direction, and we see a hill, and on the hill we recognize an IDF jeep. So we thought, okay, we really need to go to this jeep. There's like soldiers, they're going to help us. So we drove to this hill. We're approaching to the IDF jeep, and we see it's abandoned. It was full of blood, and it was like a broken M16 in there. But we took the M16 with us. Like, we tried to fix it in the car like for a really long time. And we found 4 bullets spread on the floor of the car. We took them with us. And right near the jeep, we saw trails of the trucks that the terrorists came with. So we thought it's going to be a good idea to go on these trails because they're not going to come back on the same way they came. So we got on these trails, and we were like to the Gaza direction, to Be'eri. Gaza, it's the same direction. So we were driving in the fields for about 15 minutes in circles because we saw a lot of smoke coming from Be'eri, and we thought maybe we should stop the car to check what is going on in Be'eri. And at this point, Alex and Oad jumped out of the car. Oad needed to pee, and Alex wanted to call his wife Michal to tell her everything is okay. Half minute after they jumped out of the car, a group of 8 terrorists jumped on us with a truck and motorcycles, and they just starting like to spray us, and Alex and Oad just ran to the bushes really fast, and we kept driving. So Dor started to zigzag with the car, and he made like a dust screen because we were driving in the fields. So we were on the run 15-20 minutes maybe, and like after this we managed to lose them. So the first thing that I do is to call Alex after we lose them. I'm asking him, okay, what is happening? Where are you? And the first thing he said to me, oh my God, I thought you were all dead. Like, I heard the way they sprayed you. I heard your screams. I thought that you were all dead. And he was whispering. And I told him, okay, you need us like to come, maybe send us a location. He said, don't come, there's a lot of terrorists, I can hear them. And he was whispering. Alex was hiding in these bushes for 1.5 hours or more. And after this, Alex was laying on the floor and Oad was sitting in the bush. A group of 5 innocent civilians of Gaza came. 13 years old boy, 14 years old boy, 18 years old boy, 15 years old boy, and their father. They came with big nets, because they knew people are hiding in the bushes. They knew people would hide on the trees and stuff like this. So they came with a really big nets. So at this point, when they came to Alex and Oad, Oad immediately stand up, and 3 people are standing on Alex, putting a net on him. So they told them, like, stay quiet, give us your phones. And at first, Oad gave them his phone, but then he realized it's just kids, and they don't have any weapon. Like, they were wearing sandals. And he just took his phone from this kid's hand and just ran away. Alex being hostage already for 159 days. His wife gave birth this week for their second son. He doesn't even know about it. We don't know if he's alive. We haven't heard nothing from him. For the first 18 days, we didn't have like information if he was kidnapped or if he's murdered. And then we found a video on Telegram that we could see him. So I will come back to my story. It's just really important for me to speak for Alex because he can't tell you your story. I'm his voice here. There is nothing that is much more important to me than telling his story. So after I hanged up with the call with Alex, I was trying to connect, like to call the police. And we were waiting like for 5 or 10 minutes for them to pick up. And then we had no signal at all. We tried to open Google Maps, we tried to open Waze, we tried a lot of things. None of them were working because Hamas took the connection off for hour in the whole area. Nobody had like connection in this hour. So there was like a voice that came from the back of my head and told me like I need to look at the birds. So we stopped our car and we were turning it on and off, because it's I don't know, Pajero from the 90s, maybe the 80s, and it's like very loud. So when the car is on, we can't hear nothing that is happening outside, like if car is approaching or something, or if like a motorcycle. And we didn't wanted like to do a lot of noise. So we turned it on and off, like to hear and like to be ready to run if somebody is coming, so it won't take us a long time to. So I was looking out of the window and I realized that every time that I hear gunfires, this area has a lot of trees. Every time that I hear gunfires, I see birds coming from the trees in circles because they're afraid from the shooting. So I realized that I can know where the terrorists are coming from. So I started to navigate us for half an hour. And then I saw a terrorist coming on a motorcycle from the mirror. I just like shouted, "Oh, you need like to drive." So we were on a run for 15, maybe 20 minutes again. We had 5 times more runs like this, like when terrorists are chasing us. But we were like always driving to the Gaza direction. So this is not the direction they needed. I think this is the reason why they didn't chase us enough. Like every time we just zigzagged with the car and did like a lot of turns and a lot of stuff like this and made like a dust screen. But it looked that they didn't put too much effort in this, because they knew they need to like to the other direction, to Israel, to go to the other places like the party area when all of my friends were. So like at this point the whole car I think was sprayed in bullets, but like we kept driving, it was fine. And I'm calling the police, like the connection after an hour was back, and so I'm calling again to the police. And I'm asking, okay, listen, you need to locate my phone right now. You need to tell me immediately how I can get out of here. And he tells me, I can't do this. I will send you a link. I don't know, something like this. And as we're speaking, another like group of terrorists started to chase us. While we're speaking, and the police officer just telling me, yes, I'm sending you a link, And I was just like, man, we're running from terrorists. What are you talking about? Like, and we managed to lose them. And then we come like to a curvy road. And this is the first time we seeing terrorists that came from the front and not from the back. Because the whole time they were coming from the back and it was like a big distance from them and us, so we could like escape. And this time they came from the front. So at first my head was down and Gilad's head was down too. And like our Jeep, it's a Pajero, it's look like really Arabic. It's like really old and like door just colored, like it's DIY, like all the car is DIY. It's look like very. So at first, also the musabaha, it's like a necklace of Arabs that they put like basically everywhere on everything. So he puts it on his car, so when he parks his car in Jaffa, nobody will break into his car. So at first, he waved at the terrorist. He did like this with his head, and the terrorist just looked at him and just like did. And for a moment, we were thinking, okay. And then he saw my head and he started to scream, "Idbah al Yahud, Idbah al Yahud," and started to spray us. It means kills the Jews. So we were just driving on them, and they just like did a turn and started to chase us. But it's the first time that they were so close to us. So one motorcycle is managed to come to Gilad's window, and he shoot him in the head. Gilad is still alive though. And Gilad is screaming to us, "He shot me in the head, he shot me in the head." And then he comes to my window. And I don't know what I was thinking to myself. My head wasn't down. I was sitting and I was just looking in his eyes while he pointing to my head, Kalashnikov. And I just started to scream at him with all of my lungs. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. This is the first time somebody is clapping like in this part. So this is a Jewish prayer for those who don't know. Like when somebody is dying or somebody is dead, you sing on him Shema Yisrael. And I was thinking this is going to be my last words. So this is what I'm going to say. And because I was screaming at him so loud, he was so surprised, like why this little girl don't move her head, why she's looking me at the eyes, and why she's screaming at me. So he just raised his eyebrows. He was like really surprised. His eyes were so big and black. They were evil. I can't like even describe it. I'm dreaming about his eyes practically every day. But I don't know, like his eyes were like black, like the whole eye were black. I think maybe because they took a lot of drugs. Maybe because they're insane, maybe both, probably both. And these few seconds of the surprise that he had gave Dor the chance to hit him with the car. And he just hit him with the car. And then another motorcycle is coming from the back, and Dor was like, "Oh, I can hit him too." So he hit him too. And we were left on a run with two motorcycles for half an hour, like in circles, in the fields, and then they just left us. I don't know. And I'm still talking with the police on the phone. Like, it's all recorded. I took the recording from the police after this. So the police telling me, you need to go to Be'eri, you need to go to Be'eri, you need to go to Be'eri. And I'm just telling him, we can't go to Be'eri. We need to go to hospital. Like, there is no way we're driving to Be'eri right now. Like, we need to get to a hospital. He have a bullet in his head. And at this point, we're driving on the left side of 232 road in the fields. Like, the road is on our right side. And we're seeing Be'eri, and then going on the road, on 232 road, and we're going after, and we're approaching close to Kibbutz Alumim. So I'm still speaking with the police on the phone, just begging for him not to hang up the call, because it took him a really long time to pick up the phone. So we see two big trucks with something like 50 people, like outside the trucks, blocking the whole road. And I was so innocent, like I'm asking the police officer, can you check for me if it's terrorists or it's the police? Because they were all wearing black, like ninjas. And I didn't know, maybe it's like a unit of the army or the police, maybe it's some special forces. And I'm asking him if he can check me, and he's telling me, I can check you, but just get closer. So we're getting a little bit closer, and the moment we're realizing it's terrorists, they launching an RPG on us. So the RPG exploded just a few centimeters from us, and the whole car, like this big, huge Jeep, 4 wheels in the air. All the stuff that were in the Jeep are falling on Gilad's head, and he's just screaming because he already have a bullet in his head, and now like beds and chairs and table and a lot of stuff, everything was falling on us. Like, I got the chair in my head, and he was sitting in the back, so so at this point, we couldn't hear nothing. We were just screaming at each other with the hands, but nobody could hear nothing. And we took a hard left to the fields again to get out of the road. So we're coming to the fields, like on the left side of the road, and 3 terrorists jumping and starting to shoot us with their Kalashnikovs. And I'm just looking at the door, and I'm deciding for us, okay, there is no other way. We need to go to Be'eri, and we're turning back to Be'eri. And I'm still with the police on the line. And I'm telling him, okay, we're going to Be'eri, you won. Can you please just make sure that the gate would be open and an ambulance will wait for us in the entrance, because somebody need to take care of Gilad, and there is a terrorist that probably chasing us, so we need the gate to be open so we can make it quickly. And he telling me, don't worry, I opened the call. And 1 minute before we arriving to Be'eri, we were like really close to Be'eri, he's telling me, don't get in Be'eri if you don't see our forces in there. And we're like, you must be kidding, because like we're in a few seconds we'll be in Be'eri. So we coming to the gate, and the only thing that we see is that everybody is shot. We see like bodies. The whole gate was like in blood, not the whole gate, but it was blood there. And we see a person, a man, sitting in this car. The door was open. He was with a kippah on his head. He had like prayers book in his hand, and he was sitting half body out of the car, and he was shot in the head, so all of his brain was like splashed there. So at this point, we hearing shouts and screaming and singing in Arabic from Kibbutz Be'eri, but not like a few people. We hearing at least 100 people singing in Arabic and chanting and screaming like in Arabic, but full of joy, not like they're scared, like really full of joy. So I'm telling the police officer, listen, there is no more kibbutz Be'eri. I think they killed everybody in here. And on the right side to the entrance to Be'eri, there is a little hill and there is a bicycle shop on this hill. At this point, we didn't know it's a bicycle shop because we'd never been in Be'eri before. We saw just a building. So we're coming to this hill, we're approaching to this building, and we can see terrorists in the fields that are like coming to this way, to this direction. And we can see like the terrorists in Kibbutz Salomim, it was on a hill, so we could see like a lot of things. So what we decided is the best is that I will jump out of the car, because maybe there's a terrorist in this building, so if there's a terrorist, they need to shoot me, because Gilad already has a bullet in his head, and I don't know how to drive. Dor is the only, like, he's driving, and I was thinking to myself, okay, like, this is the moment, I need to sacrifice myself. So I jumped alone out of the jeep. Like, I think that Dor and Gilad gave me courage because like they were like, yes, do it, even though I'm 20 and they're 30 and I had never been in the military and they were like fighters in the military. So it gave me like a perspective that if they're saying it's okay, so it's probably okay. So I jumped out of the car, and at first I tried to open something, like I was really getting down. I was like walking like this, so the terrorists that are coming won't see me. And I tried to open at first between 10 to 15 doors. I didn't know it's a bicycle shop, so I thought there is a people inside. So I was just knocking and screaming, we're Jews, please open, we're Jews. And nobody opened. So I decided to circle the building to the point like where a lot of tourists could see me. But like it was our only chance. So I circled the building and I saw a door that was half plastic, half of grain glass. So it had no lock, the hand was broken, but it's the only thing that was open. So I ran back to the jeep, I called Dor and Gilad. We opened this door. It was a little bathroom and another door inside. Dor just broke the other door with his hand, like this. And it was a little shower inside and a big closet with towels. So the first thing that I did is to take all the towels and to spread them on the floor. So if the terrorists are coming, they can't hear our movement. Because there was also like a lot of glass from the door that is broke on the floor. And then I abandoned Gilad's head. And 20 minutes after we came to this building, Hamas thought, oh, it's a really good point of view. Like we can see Kibbutz Alumim, we can see the 232 road, we can see the fields, we can see the entrance to Be'eri, we can see everything from here. Should be the place where we making improvised base. So after this 20 minutes, they came like between something 50 to 60 Hamas members. And they were outside of our door. Me and Gilad, we were hiding behind the shower curtain. And Dor was holding the door like this. So if they're going to open, they will think it's locked. So, this point, we just hearing them talking with each other, screaming, shooting people. We hearing screams from Be'eri. And my phone died just as we got to Be'eri. So I took Dor's phone and I started to talk with one of our friends that he was talking with the military. He was speaking with 7 different units, the elite units. And I was speaking with them. I was sending them our location, and they told us, yes, we're on the way. Don't worry, we're on the way. Just stay silent. And then it was an hour, and another hour, and another one, and another one. And nobody's coming. And to those who doesn't know what happened in Kibbutz Be'eri, every third person was either murdered, either kidnapped. The things that we heard while we in this bathroom, at this point, I thought there is nothing worse than this, like in the entire world, because it wasn't just shooting. They tortured people. They really tortured people. We hearing women and kids begging for their lives. Not for minutes, for hours they were begging because they were torturing them for hours before they killed them. Women were getting raped. And not just women, also children, also elderly, everybody. So we inside this bathroom, hearing how people are getting raped, how people are being burned alive, because this is what they did. They throw a lot of grenades just on people, on groups of people. Everybody who tried to escape from Be'eri, they were shooting at him. At first they were playing with him. They were torturing people and then they were killing them. So, for me, from the first second we got in Be'eri, I was praying. I was really praying hard. Like I said, all the prayers that I know. I even said Kiddush, because I was out of prayers. And at some point I just started to speak to God directly, because at this point we had no other choice. The military is saying for hours that they're coming and nobody's coming. We heard a few times that the military was trying to get closer to Be'eri, but we were hearing how they're getting killed. I understand a little bit of Arabic because I'm half Moroccan. So at this point we knew we were alone. I thought the whole country was occupied. I thought that nobody is alive. I thought we are the last survivors. So I started to speak with God, because when things are so irreasonable. Like, this is the only place you can go to, like, to ask help. And I was just speaking with him directly because I thought to myself, I'm his daughter, he's my father. Why wouldn't I just speak with him directly? And I will ask whatever I need and speak just with honesty. And I closed my eyes. I've been speaking with him like for 2 hours, I guess. And I I was feeling like somebody's hugging me, and I thought it's Gilad hugging me because the first hours we were just hugging because we thought every second is our last second. And I opened my eyes and I see that nobody's hugging me, but I can still feel it, like physically, like how someone is grabbing me and holding me so tight. And I was confused for a second, and then like I felt a euphoric feeling in my whole body. I just wanted to laugh. I just wanted to like, I smiled. I don't know. And then they started to open the doors that I tried to open at first. They started to shoot at the locks of the doors, and we heard that. And I thought to myself, maybe I'm feeling this euphoric feeling because this is probably my last seconds. Like maybe I'm feeling good because this is the moment I'm going to die. And and then like my brain started to work, and I'm just speaking with the military and telling them, listen, where are you? Like you said you're on the way, like for 4 hours already. Just help us. They're coming, like our door is next, we have a few seconds. And they telling us, yes, we're on the way, just keep silent. And I started to think, and I was hearing helicopters like flying above us. So I just sent them a text. Listen, you need to shoot at us right now. We don't care if we die, because I was hearing what is happening to women outside my door. I knew if they're opening the door, they're probably going to shoot on Gilad, but they're going to rape me. And I was so afraid of it. So I just told them, listen, just shoot at our building right now. And I said to them, it's fine if we're going to die from IDF, it's fine. It's like totally fine. Just shoot at us. You have to distract them. And after 2 minutes, we hear and feel three big massive explosions. The helicopter was shooting at us, and the ceiling started like to fall on us, like not collapse but a little bit, and the walls started like to fall a little bit apart, but not like something really bad. So because of these massive explosions, we couldn't hear nothing for a few minutes. And after we started like to hear something back again, we heard them already like in a distance, a little bit of distance away from the building. They probably ran to hide or something. But they were still close, but they were not thinking about the doors anymore. They were talking about other stuff, and they just didn't came to our door. The whole time we kept like see their shadows in the door. Like we heard everything they spoke about. So after 4.5 hours, the oxygen was leaking. We felt like super dizzy in this bathroom, and Dor was like hopeless, and Gilad was hopeless. Dor was laying on the floor, just grabbing his head and saying, shit, 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 shit. I thought maybe they're hearing something that I don't, because like we stuck for here 4.5 hours. Now you're saying shit. Um, and Gilad was telling me his last words he wanted me to say to his family. And I just looked at them and I was like, guys, what is wrong with you? The military is on the way. Everything is going to be fine. Like, I didn't believe to myself, but I don't know how they did. At this point, they did. I was like, guys, I'm talking with the military. They're coming. Just chill. And they were like, okay, okay. This wasn't the truth, because like I knew they're not coming. I was speaking with them like already for 5 hours. I knew they were not coming for us. So I keep like saying to them, we're getting out of this, we're getting out of this, we're getting out of this, we're getting out of this. And like I really couldn't speak loud. I was like whispering it to them and like talking with my hands. So after 6.5 hours we were sitting in this bathroom, we finally heard them leaving to Be'eri directions, like this big group of the terrorists left. Like we heard them going to Be'eri. And after 10 minutes, we heard an IDF language. So we said, okay, this is our chance. Now we have to like open the door, now we have to get out. So we're opening the door, and if we thought that what we've been hearing was not good, so what we saw was even worse. We opened the door and it was like a pool of blood, a lot of body parts, a lot of bodies, beheaded bodies. And we see 2 soldiers and one guy, an old guy from Kibbutz Be'eri. His name was Ziv Shilon, Zichrono Livracha. And we were asking, like, we saw these soldiers came on their Kaya Picanto, and we were like, where's your unit? And they were like, we came, like, we live, like, close to here, and we heard there was, like, a real mess in Be'eri, so we came to fight. And we were like, guys, you don't even know. Like, you can't fight here alone. Forget about it. And the first thing they did is just like with this guy Ziv, they made a line of like all the Jewish people bodies in one side and then a line on the other side of the terrorists. They took all the weapons that were spread on the floor and put them in one place. And we started go through these bodies to see if somebody is alive. So there was one guy, he had 20 shots in his body, but he was like a really big guy, so we thought, okay, maybe he can make it. So we come closer to him and we understood that he have pulse and he's still breathing. So we immediately starting like to try to help him. He opened his eyes. He wasn't like really speaking. He told us just to tell his mother that he loves her, and he closed his eyes. But we could feel that he's still breathing. He still have pulse, like really low, but still have something. At this point, another 3 Magav soldiers came to Be'eri, to this place. And we were like, okay, guys, you need to help us. And they just told us, we can't help you. We came to Be'eri because there is 45 hostages in the cafeteria. We can't help you. We came for them. You either can come with us, you can stay here. Um, they said to us, we think there is a checkpoint in Kibbutz Alumim, but the whole road is full of terrorists. We can't guarantee nothing to you. It's only your responsibility. Only you can decide what you want to do. We can't decide for you. So we took this injured person with us, and we started to drive on 232 road to Kibbutz Alumim. So if I thought that what we saw when we opened the door is the worst thing, so when we got on 232 road, I can't even describe it in words. I saw a lot of horror movies, I saw a lot of apocalyptic movies. I never saw something like this, not even in a movie. The two sides of the road was full of smoke from everywhere. There was hundreds of cars, they were all burned. There was a massive amount of burned bodies. A lot of people that they shot in the head, their head was falling on the wheel. So just like we heard it even like from the bathroom, and then like harder and harder, louder and louder, like the beep. So it's made the environment even more apocalyptic than it was. The whole road was full of blood. In Israel we call it the blood road, the death road. It was just full of blood, the whole road. And a lot of body parts. A lot of people were like, that they were cut in the middle because terrorists took their organs, like their hearts and kidneys, to sell them later. So I can't get this image out of my head of a naked woman on the road with her legs spread on the road. So we're driving and we have to look and see all of this because there is a chance that every second terrorist will jump from the sides of the road, so we had to look. All the driving to Alumim, we were all silenced. Nobody said even a word. We were just like in such a big shock. We wanted to say that we couldn't even breathe. And we're approaching to Kibbutz Alumim, and the soldiers are pointing their guns at us, and we were like with the heads out of the window screaming, "Don't shoot, we're Jews, we're Jews, we come from Be'eri." And we got out of the jeep, and the first thing the soldiers are asking me, like, "You need water, you need this, you need a hug?" And the first soldiers that saw me was hugging me for 2 minutes. This is the first time that I started to cry because I was feeling safe enough to cry in this war zone. And there was a lot of bodies of soldiers in there, like of their friends, like near them. A lot of soldiers' dead bodies and a lot of terrorist bodies just right next to them. And there was only one safe car, and it was full of injured soldiers. So we gave them Gilad and the other injured person really quick, and they told us they have no space for me and Dor, so we need to stay in Kibbutz Alumim. So me and Dor, we stayed in Kibbutz Alumim for 3.5 more hours. This area was still like full of terrorists, so we just were with the soldiers while they were fighting with terrorists. They were constantly in battles with terrorists, and like each time we were hiding either like under a police car, under a tree, and behind a stone. So one of the times of the battles that they had, me and Dol, we were hiding behind this really big stone, and we saw something shiny on the floor, and we decided to pick it up, like to see what is it. And it was a ring, and on the ring it was written Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. And like this is the only thing that I kept saying, like a mantra. Me and Dol, we were yelling this, we were saying this. I filmed a lot of videos and photos at the October 7. So when the rocket started, you can hear me in all of my videos saying Shema Yisrael. And we started to run with the car, with the Jeep. I was filming in this, and I screamed Shema Yisrael. And when the terrorist was pointing the gun to me, I was screaming Shema Yisrael. And then we found this ring. So like we were in a shock for a few moments, and we were amazed, and we started like to laugh with the soldiers and tell them, guys, you're safe, like nobody needs to worry, we found this ring, everybody is protected in here, you're safe. This is also was like a really big spiritual moment for me, because I was like getting those physical signs that God is with me. It's like, it's not that I can imagine this and I can like, I don't know, because I'm so afraid, so I'm imagining this. It was like really physical signs that God is with me and God is protecting me. So I was calm again at this point. So after this 3.5 hours, we were back again to the road, and we drove to Ashkelon with our Jeep. So when I got home at this day, after a few hours, a fragment of missile damaged my house. But let's say that missiles and rockets are not this is the least scary thing that can be. Like, the first thing that I got home was doing is like, I forgot the name of it in English, but I was holding like a real big knife, like to cut like meat, like this one, like this big, like a machete, yeah. And I was just waiting, like in the door, like somebody will come, and I could like, I'm here to fight. I guess that's it. Like, this is my story. Thank you.